Welcome to NFL News, January 22nd, 2026. This week has been NFL news so far. I want to give it an update. On Friday, I will do my UFC 324 main card predictions video on that day, plus Premier League predictions match day 23. So if you don't see an NFL news on that day, it's probably because I'm busy with those two videos. Plus, NFL Conference Championship Game predictions videos will happen on Saturday, the day before Conference Championship games on Sunday. But let's begin with the news with the big story. The Ravens are hiring Chargers defensive coordinator Jesse Minter to become their next head coach, and he is signing a 5-year deal, which will make him as the head coach. This makes a lot of sense because Minter has been part of the Hardballs, of course, spending time with John in 2017 to 2020. Then in 2021 to 2020, 2021 to 22, he went with Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, and then 2024 to 25, he spent his 2 years in the NFL with Jim Harbaugh in Los Angeles. So, does this fit the Ravens? Yes. This is a defensive coach. Again, a defensive coach that's going to come in, has questions surrounding who's going to call the plays offensively for Lamar Jackson, and it's a real good organization that Minter's going to. I'm giving this one an A plus, and you guys may agree on this higher, and the reason is Minter reminds me of Mike Macdonald. Remember, when Mike Macdonald left the Ravens defense coordinator to become the Seahawks head coach, what did he did in his first year? 8-9. Second year, had to change the quarterback, and yeah, I know they had to get rid of Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Noah Fant, but they still are a good team. And look at them right now; they're in a chance to go to their first Super Bowl in 11 years. So, can Jesse Minter do it? I think he could do it. I think this job fits him well. I think there'll be questions surrounding, all right, who's he going to hire as a defensive coordinator, and will he be calling the defense? So, all that being said, A plus hire. Ravens fans, I'm happy for you guys to hire Jesse Minter as your head coach. Then we get to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are hiring Eagles secondary coach and passing game coordinator Christian Parker as their new defensive coordinator. So Christian Parker, one of the rising candidates for the defensive coordinating job, fell into the rivals of the Cowboys. So this will be his first time as a defensive coordinator, plus first time play caller as defensive coordinator. I'll give this one a B plus. I think he's going to do some. It's going to be his first time as a defensive coordinator. He's got a lot of work in hand with this Cowboys defense. And yeah, he has to clean up of Matt Eberflus's mess. But Christian Parker, happy for him, well deserved, B plus. All right, just want to get some injuries and things are going around the league before we get to the Buccaneers and their new OC. We'll start in Denver with running back J.K. Dobbins, who's dealing with a foot injury, was limited in practice on Thursday's practice. If he is good to go, and if he does play in the AFC Championship game, that is a huge boost for the Broncos offense. They need him back for the run game to be effective with R.J. Harvey and Jarrett Stidham as the quarterback. So yeah, I know they're probably going to end up running the football against the Patriots. Some sad news for the Lions. Yeah, eligible man, Dan Skipper is announced his retirement after 9 seasons in the NFL, but he is pursuing for a coaching career. So Dan Skipper, who's been eligible in that Dan Campbell offense, is going to retire after 9 years, but pursuing a coaching career. Rams offensive tackle Rob Havenstein was designated to return from IR. So I'm guessing he is off of IR, and we'll see if he does play against the Seahawks because they're going to need him to do a lot of blocking against that defensive line and pass rushers. Some good news for the Patriots. Wide receiver Mac Hollins, who's dealing with an abandoned injury, was limited in Thursday's practice after being designated to return from IR. So we'll see. So again, he'll probably be ready to go this week. And if he's not ready for this week, if the Patriots win the conference championship game, they will have him for the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, bad news is Patriots center Garrett Bradbury, their center, is dealing with an illness. He did not practice Thursday, so is that a bad sign or a good sign? Well, he's dealing with an illness, so if he doesn't play this week, that's going to hurt them. But if he does manage to get back on track, I think he'll still probably play for this game. All right, back to coaching news. Oh, actually, Seahawks offensive tackle Charles Cross is dealing with a foot injury, but Seattle is optimistic he can play Sunday against the Rams. So we'll keep an eye on Charles Cross, who is dealing with that foot injury. We'll see if that's going to affect him in his passing protection against the Rams defense. All right, now we get back to the coaching news. So, Bears offensive coordinator Declan Dole is interviewing for the Eagles offensive coordinator job today. I don't get it. Why would the Eagles... I got a notification. Anyways, why is Declan Dole going to interview with the Eagles? I know he's not a play caller. Because Ben Johnson calls the plays in Chicago. Philadelphia's just going after these guys who have never called plays, and they're just thinking, oh, let's just hire Declan Dole. Just hire the guy. Whoever your offensive coordinator is, I still need questions surrounding your new OC. Now let's get to the Buccaneers' new OC. So the Buccaneers are hiring former Falcons offensive coordinator Zach Robinson as their new OC. Again, yesterday they already completed their interview, a virtual interview with that pitcher who is the Bengals OC. Well, they went out and go Zach Robinson, who is going to stay in the division, but calling the plays for Baker Mayfield. You know what the strength of Zach Robinson's offense is going to be? Run the football. He did it with Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier. The pass game was not that effective when he was there in Atlanta. I think he's going to get both the running game more improved with Bucky Irvin as the running back, and get the pass game going with Baker Mayfield, Emeka Egbuka, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, and we'll see if Mike Evans returns because, again, he's a free agent for 2026. I'll give this one a B plus, or actually a B minus, just because, again, he's done this before 2 years in Atlanta. He's just going to have to go to a team like Tampa Bay to improve the pass game a lot more than just effective the run game a lot. That's it for NFL news, January 22nd, 2026. If you've not seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure to like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell for more sports news.